Greetings everyone, my name is Ms. Juana Lahasa and I'll be doing revision for mathematics paper 1 grade 12 focusing on algebra, number pattern, functions and financial maths. In question 1 we'll be focusing on algebra. So the first part of our question paper is algebra. So they've given us x squared minus 3, 3x minus 1. Let's just write it, 3x minus 1, and also they've given us x plus 2. So in this part of our question paper, we are going to be solving for x in order to understand what is an integer, what is a rational number, and what is a real number. So we are writing them down as we have solved. This is the value of our x's. Let's just erase that. Okay, now we have x is equals to root of 3, and also x is equals to 1 over 3, and also x is equals to negative 2. So now the first part of our question in 1.1.1, they're telling us what is an integer. First of all, what is an integer? An integer is a whole number that can be negative or positive. So here we have negative 2, which is our x, and here the rational number is the one that has the fraction, which is going to be 1 over 3, and yeah, it's our fraction number. Let's just erase that. Let's erase that real quick. And here we have 1 all over 3. So now x, where is the real number, is whereby you're going to look at our square root. Now that square root is going to be x is equals to root of 3. So now we move on to the next part of our question. So now, right now, every time you see the part where they've given you corrected to decimal squares, but where we are given that action, so we are going to use the quadratic equation, which is the one that I'm writing right now, okay, which is minus b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. That is our quadratic formula. Now you have to know what is your b, what is your a, and what is your c. So for your b, it's going to be equals to you need to know them. Let's just write them real quick. B is equals to your negative 9. You know, it's not 9, it's negative 9, all right? So we are given negative 9, and for your a is going to be negative 15, okay? And for your c, we have positive 4. All right, so now after this, you're going to substitute everything into the equation right here. We are going to substitute everything inside of our equation, whereby the first x is going to be 0, 0,9, sorry, 0, 0,90, or 0, x is equals to 0, 3. So now we are given that as it is. So now that is our solution. Let's just write it over there. Okay. Yes, let's just write it real quick. X is equals to 0, 3. So now we move on to the next question. The next question, it tells us about inequalities. Let's just wrap here real quick. Let's just erase. Oh Jesus. Erase. Okay. So now we are moving on to the next part, which is our inequalities. We are given 3x minus 2 to the power of 2, which is greater or equals to 3x. Okay, now since we're given this, remember we are going to expand. All right, we are going to expand the right hand side of our the right hand side of our equation. of our inequality, sorry. Now, after we have expanded it, we're going to be left with 9x squared. We're going to expand it and multiply the brackets, okay? We're going to remove the squared and also the brackets, all right? Now we have 12x squared plus 4, which is greater or equals to 3x, all right? 3x, and because we are given such things, we need to take 3x to the other side. By the way, we are solving for x, right? 9x squared, 12x, 15x plus 4. Oh, sorry about that. Plus 4 is going to be greater or equals to 0. Now we are going to solve for x. We're going to find our factors. All right, now we have 3x minus, you can choose on this part, you can choose to use quadratic formula to get your x's, all right, but now we are going to write it. Yes, my marker seems to be stuck. I don't know what's happening. Okay, now it's come back. Now it's 3x minus 4, 3x minus 1. Okay, minus 1. All right, now we're going to have is greater or equals to 0. So now we are solving for your x. All right, now when you solve for x, we're going to have x is equals to 1. No, not equals to. Let's just write it real quick. Not equals to. Okay, and then or remember, you see how it changed. The sign changed. Okay, it changed. I'll explain that real quick. X is greater than 4. Oh, Jesus. 4 all over 3. Sharp. That is our final answers. Okay, now we're going to write them there real quick. It's not greater. Okay, it's not equal sign. Let's just remove it. Oh, Jesus, this is not how you're writing it. X is equal to or greater than 4 all over 3. 4 all over 3. So we made a mistake right there. Let's just correct it real quick. We're gonna have something like less than. Right. Now we are moving to the next question. So we are moving on to the next question. So they've given us 5x is equals to 5 into 4 plus 2x minus to the power 5 to the power of x is equals to 5 into 4 plus 5 2 minus x. Now we're going to close our brackets. By the way, right now, because we are going to apply the rules of the exponents, all right? Now something like this. Now we're going to multiply in plus 5 multiplied by 5 to the power of 2. So let's just make it right. Let's write it correctly. Let it be okay. 5. Oh Jesus, let's just make this, correct this a little bit. Okay, 5 2 minus x. All right, now since we have something similar to this, we are going to try by all means in order to simplify it. All right, so we have is equals to 20. Sorry, my marker is acting half. 25 times 5. Let's just okay, 5 okay, let me just erase it real quick and try to write it in a perfect manner. Okay, now we have 5x come on, let's write 5x minus 225. By the way, what happened here is that we multiplied, okay, and we moved the other part to the other side. All right, that's what happened over here. 5x minus okay, you're right here, 0. Now what we are going to do, because we have this, we'll try by all means to make it have the same basis. All right, minus 25 is equals to 0, or 5x, which is this, or is equals to 0. Oh my god, it's equals to 0. Just mark it right. It's equals to 0. All right, now we are going to say, or, oh my god, this marker, I'm going to, okay, or 5 to the power of x is minus 5 is equals to 0. So now this is what's happening. All right, now let me just do, my god, equals to 0. All right, now we're going to have 5x minus is equals to 5 to the power of 2, or whereby x is going to be 2. So on this case, it's not possible, it's not applicable, meaning when we substitute this the one there is not giving us the correct answers. All right, okay, it's not applicable. All right, so now we're going to do this part of simultaneous equation, and they have given us a log over there, so we are going to write it as it is. Now this log, we're going to change it and make it an exponent, okay, so that we are able to solve for x. This is what I am writing right now, okay. Okay, this is very wrong. This is x is equals to 4 to the power of 4. All right, x is going to be 4. This is also another thing, but I did a mistake. This is a common mistake that most learners are doing. You see, this is a mistake that we did and that I did. So this is a common mistake that most learners take when they're solving for x. When they see a log, they don't know how to apply it. So in this case, what we are going to do is to correct it, and I will show you the correct manner of writing it. Okay, now please don't make such a mistake in the exam. Please try by all means to not do it. All right, yes, so let's just correct it a little bit. Let us correct. This is a common mistake, guys. Please let's try not to do it. So now we're gonna have x to the power of 4. You see, the x that is below the log, it takes the 4 as the exponent. All right, now we are going to say x to the power of 4 is equals to 2 to the power of 4. So now what we're going to do, we're going to equate the bases. This is what I'm writing right now. So now, right now, we are going to substitute the x into the equation. This is how you see the line. We're going to substitute the x into the equation. All right, now we are going to solve for y. All right, okay, now let us write it. Okay, let's write it. Okay, cool. So we have written it as it is. So now we are trying by all means to solve 4y. So since we have seen here, we are going to take the y and take it to the other side, solve it until we reach this point. Okay, now that's not on y, that's not a y, that's not a y, excuse me, no. So now we are doing question 2, which is focusing on number pattern. We have the normal number pattern that we are used to, and we have quadratic. So right now we are given the quadratic one, which means the first difference and the second difference. So now for the first difference, we are given 1, -1. This is how we calculate. You're going to take difference, it means you are minusing 2 consecutive numbers. So for the first one, we're given 1, -1, -3, and -5, which is how you see them in this lesson of data function. So now the second difference, sorry, we are not there yet, we are not there. So the second difference, we have done the first difference, and what they want us is to determine the nth term of the first differences. So now the difference of the first term is equals to -1. So the a is the first term, which is your 1. So we are given that. So calculating the nth term, we're gonna substitute it into the original equation. Okay, so now which is your a, which is going to be what we are writing right now. It's going to be -2 plus 3. So the original equation is equal to Tn into a into n minus 1. So now times d. So now since we are given something like this, we are going to substitute it over there. Okay, now let me write it correctly. A minus a plus. Okay, this is it. So our Tn is -2n plus minus plus, okay, minus 3. So now they tell us to calculate the first difference between 35 and 36. So T35 is going to be 2 into the nth term, which is 35 plus 3. So we are going to multiply it and get our answer, which is 67, -67. That is our answer. This is the T35. It's going to be 67, -67, sorry. And now we are given determine the expression for the nth term for the quadratic sequence, which is the main one. All right, so we are given Tn is equals to a, and that is the main quadratic, the standard. So we are writing the standard right now, an squared plus bn plus c. So now we have to find the level of a. The a is equals to the second difference, which is the one that we already found in the first question. Okay, so your a is going to give you -1. So from the -1, that we are given, you are going to say -2 is equals to, this is the second term of our sequence, okay, is equals to b plus c. This is your first equation that we are going to write. Okay, we're going to name that equation is equals to the second equation. So now the first equation. So for the second equation, for the second equation, we are going to have 2 is equals to 2b plus c. That is our second equation. So now we are going to merge them in order to find the b. So for b, we're gonna have is equals to 4. The level of the value for b is equals to 4, and the value of c. And right now we're going to substitute that b into the original equation that we found. Okay, and then we are going to have our standard equation, which is Tn is equals to -n squared plus 4n minus 6. Okay, now this is what we have. Tn minus n n squared plus 4n minus 6. So this is what we have. Now they say explain why the sequence will never have a positive term. We need to find the T max, the maximum term of our equation. Okay, so we are going to say Tn is equals to n squared minus n squared minus 4n plus 4n minus 4n minus 6. So what we are going here, we are going to complete the square. So we're going to have n minus 2, n minus 2 squared minus 2. So we have completed the square. This is our equation. So now Tn max, the maximum term number, is equal to, we are going to solve this. We are going to solve it, which is negative 2. That is our maximum term number. So it will never be positive. So we do not have any positive number. Okay, so now we move to the second question, which is the functions. The third topic of our question paper that we're focusing on is quadratic. So now we are given a hyperbola and a straight line. All right, so we're given a hyperbola and also a straight line. So they say write the value of P and Q. So for the value of P, we are going to look at our asymptote. The value of P is equals to negative. We are going to look at the value which is 2, and the Q1 is the y asymptote, which is going to be negative 1. So they tell us that we must calculate the value of A. Now what is our value of A? We're going to substitute the P. We are also going to substitute the Q. So we are writing them over there. We have y. We're going to substitute f of x. Let us make it y. All right. Y is equals to whatever that is there, and we are going to take 1 point on the graph, and we are going to equate it to the A and also substitute the P over P and everything. So we have taken the one that has negative 5 over 2 is equals to A over x plus over 4, for negative 4 plus 2 plus Q plus 1 minus 1, not plus 1, minus 1. So the level of A we're going to substitute, we are going to simplify everything, and the A is going to be 3. So A is 3. So now we write down the range of f. Now what is the range? The range is the highest level of the graph. In this case is your asymptote. You're going to look at your asymptote. All right, the y value for your asymptote. So we're going to write it as y, this one, and is going to be YER is equals to, is going whereas y is to y negative 1. So it will never be equals to negative 1, because the asymptote is whereby your toe will never touch, your graph will never touch. So now we have determined the equation of line of symmetry. So to determine the line of symmetry, we are going to determine the equation of the straight line. Okay, so the m that we're given is negative 1, y plus 1 is equals to minus x plus 2. So now we are going to write them in this way: minus x minus, I'm going to write them as it is, minus x minus 3. We're going to take 1 to the other side. Okay, now we have that equation of the asymptote. Ooh, the asymptote. Okay, now I'm going to write it. Y is equals to minus 3. Now I write down the equation. Oh, the line of symmetry. Right now we are speaking about the equation of asymptote. It's going to be x is equals to y minus 6 1 over 2, whereby your y is going to be y is equals to negative 1. All right. Now we are looking at question 7, whereby we are talking about financial math. All right. So now this is our equation. So they tell us that the business buys, we have the machine that costs 120,000. So we are going to use the standard equation that we normally use in this question, which is your PA is equals to accumulated amount is equals to P, which is the money that you put in, that you buy with, and you're going to say 1 minus I, which is your interest per annum, multiplied by the number of to the power of number of years, which is your n. So now we are going to substitute 120,000. We're substituting right now 120,000 into 1 minus 0.09 divided by 5. Now we're going to punch in our calculator. Which is going to be 74,883. So 883,8. So now they tell us what determine the scrap is the scrap value. So we are writing that thing. We are writing the final answer that we got from this side, and we're going to bring it to this side. All right. Now, and let us write it. Good. Now we are moving to the next question, but after 5 years the machine needs to be replaced. During this time inflation remained constant at 7% per annum. So now they tell us about the inflation remain constant, which means there is no inflation. Right now we're going to use the same formula, minus plus 1i into n. Now but determine the cost of a new machine, right? It's like determining the appreciation. Okay, so now we are going to we're going to substitute. Sorry, let me just oh no. Okay, let me just write it and I will fix it after. So 168, we're going to say substitute the interest as well, since I've forgotten it. But so now we're going to have the accumulated amount, which is going to be 168,306.2. So now they tell us about this one, which approximately 90,000, 5 years. The sinking fund is 90k, and we have our percentage and 5-year period. So Mamela, right now we are focusing on something that is going to be compounded monthly. So we are using a different formula, which is this one that I'm writing right now. Okay, now let's just write it, the standard formula that we use to calculate the accumulated amount. Sorry, the monthly premiums. Okay, yes. So now let's just type. So let's write it over here. Okay. Oh my god, I'm making a lot of mistakes. Sorry, I'm writing right now. Okay, so now divided by the interest. So now what you are going to do, we are going to substitute and try to solve for x. Okay, those are your monthly premiums. Okay, the x value is the monthly premium that you need. All right, now let's just type in everything. Okay. So we're going to divide it by the number of months because it's a monthly premium. Okay. Now we are going to add the number. The number of years that we normally use is the number of months. So we're going to do 5 times 5, 5 times 12, which is 60, and we plus it by 1. So the x value, after that we solve for everything and we get the x value, which is your monthly premium. Okay, which is going to be 1,184 68 rand. So now we go to the last question of our session. So they tell us that we are given the retired 900,000 and the interest, we have the monthly premium. Okay, so now, but how many months? We are looking for the number of months again, but this time we are going to, number of months is the value of n, by the way. Okay, so let's just write it over there. X x is equals to 1 minus 1 plus interest to the power, to the power of n, to the power of n, negative n, close brackets, divided by I. So now we are going to substitute everything. We're substituting everything. 900,000 multiplied by 18,000 is the monthly payment that she will be getting, minus times 1 minus 1 into 1 minus what is 10, 0,105 5, and because it's a monthly premium we divide it by 12, and then all to the power of negative n. So in this case we are solving for n. So when you're solving for n, you see that n is an exponent, so at some point we have to include the log. So now we are going to write. Our thing, the marker is acting up. So 9 and 9, we are going to solve everything, simplify, and we will be left with 9 over 6, 1 minus plus 0,105 all over 12 to the power of negative n. So after we solve everything, this is what we are left with. So now we are going to solve for n. When we solve for n, we are going to firstly try by all means to make it as simple as it could be. Alright, so we have 9, 5 all over 12 into negative n. Alright, so now when we simplify further, this is where we introduce the log. Alright, so n is going to be log of 9/16 of 1 plus 0,105 all over 12, sorry, which is going to also be equals to log of 16 all over 9. So we are going to divide by log of 1 plus 0,105 divided by 12. Then we are going to have the correct amount of 66,043. Now that is the lesson for today.